Greetings and welcome back to The Pride. My name is Muphasa El Matador. They call me the Curious Cat. My job is pretty simple. I help grow your conviction. Conviction to buy, conviction to sell, conviction to hold. And today we're looking at Visa. If you're new to the channel, out here in The Pride, we only invest in trends that are going to last the next decade or more. And today's trend is digital payments. Visa is the world's largest payment processor with operations in over 200 countries. Last year, they did a whopping $10 trillion in purchase transactions, and their systems are capable of handling over 65,000 transactions per second. My question to you is this: do you see a future where we're cash or cashless? Let me know in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you like content like this, and join me as we explore Visa as a company. We do the financial analysis, technical analysis, and all of the links would be below. If you like content like this, all of our due diligence will show up somewhere on your screen. With that said, let's get into it. Visa is a truly unique business. I think of it as the business of businesses. This business has affected all of our lives. We have Visa cards in our homes, and today I'm going to break down how the business makes money. Think of an express highway. The cars get on the express highway, and there's a toll booth collecting a toll on every single car. Visa built that express highway in the early 70s and called it VisaNet. The idea was really simple. Let's create a revolutionary payment processor to enable efficient, swift, global payments. And they did just that. Consequently, they built a huge network effect. And this is the reason for the wide moat around Visa. More consumers get plugged into the network. It makes it more attractive for banks, individuals, merchants, governments, anyone involved in the game of money. Visa and MasterCard own over 75% of the market share here in America, yet Visa is responsible for processing almost twice the number of transactions of MasterCard. Visa owns over 50% of the global market share. That's 50%. Talk about a monopoly. This is a business built to dominate. It has 65% profit margins. 20% profit margin gets us excited at the profit team. Imagine what 66% profit does to us. It's also an asset-light business, so return on invested capital is really high. You're looking at 28%, or you can call it 45% if you exclude goodwill. With all that said, let's look at a typical example of a day in the life of Visa's money. So me, you, anyone goes to Starbucks with $100, $100 not in cash, but in our card, and we want to get coffee. So we give the cashier our card, and he puts that through their acquiring system. And that could be PayPal, Cash App, whatever they use to get access to the VisaNet. Once that processor gets the information through VisaNet, they talk to the merchant bank and the card issuer. Remember, Visa does not give out cards. They're not a bank. They don't give out loans. All they do is give access to the network. Once that transaction is approved, meaning that the bank says you have enough money to buy the coffee, all of this happens in seconds. You get your coffee, you walk out, and everything is resolved. If it's a credit card, the bank sends that bill to you later in the day. If it's a debit card, you have to have the funds available. Now, that $100, there is a cut that goes to the merchant bank and the card issuer. So the actual store gets, say, $98, and Visa gets 0.13% on the credit card, 0.10% on the debit card. It might look like change. However, when you imagine 65,000 transactions every second, it's no joke. These companies continuing to dominate. They have access to so many countries, and they just continue to do this and will do this for decades to come. You gotta love the bullish case for Visa. It's really simple. It's all about scalability and the powerful network effect already built out. 30 years ago, 30 plus years, I should say, VisaNet was built, and this gives them low cost to operate today and positions them for enormous growth going forward. I'm talking impressive margins of 50% being surpassed going forward 5 to 10 years. That is no small feat for any business. Visa also commands over 50% of the global market, and they can continue this scalability going forward with emerging markets coming into the fray. With that said, it's important to note that cash was surpassed by electronic payments only a few years ago. This is a game changer. If this trend continues into the future, Visa is going to be unstoppable. The bears have a strong argument against Visa, so we have to hear them out. The first challenge is it's lonely at the top. Visa has climbed all the way to the top of this industry, and so competition is well at their heels trying to pull them back. There's more opportunity for loss than gain, and that's something to be wary of. The second thing is the nature of this particular industry. They have paid a lot of fines in the past, and it's possible for them to be fined again in the future just because of the nature of the industry they're working with. Finally, is governments can shut Visa out like China did and give a monopoly to a local competitor like UnionPay. These are things to consider when you're looking at Visa. All investments come with risk, no reward, and Visa is no exception to that rule. I fell in love with Visa because I saw them as a great inflation hedge. If you spend $100 at Starbucks, Visa gets 0.13%. If inflation is 10%, you spend $110 at Starbucks, Visa gets 0.13%. But this gives them a lot of sensitivity to consumer spending. If consumer spending drops, the bottom line of Visa is going to get hurt. The second part of this is the nature of this particular industry gives them a lot of susceptibility to being fined. A lot of fees have been paid in the past. A lot of fees could be paid in the future. And finally, if other governments could do what China did and give monopolies to companies like UnionPay, that will reduce the access of Visa to all of these markets. There is one last risk that I don't think is a big deal, but it is something to think about. If there's a data breach in any of the data centers that Visa currently operates, you can see a lot of issues for Visa. Awesome. I like to go through these as quick as possible to give you an idea of what this business is all about. You can see the year range of 186 to 252. That gives a lot of volatility in the way this stock is currently trading, with 218 as the current price. The P ratio of 43 is pretty high. We'd have to look at that in comparison with the competition. 0.69% dividend is pretty low, but you already know if you pay your boy to hold, your boy is going to hold. Now, let's look at the numbers, right? We're looking at this quarterly, and you can see revenue of $7 billion in the last earnings report. 3.96 net income gives a 56% profit margin. This company has enormous cash flow because of the nature of their business. It is a beast in all sense of the words. The annuals also really good. You can see this continuous growth from 2017 to 2021. Margins pretty stellar. There's no stopping this particular company. If you jump in and do a comparison between Visa and the competition, I like to look at MasterCard and Visa because they own 75% of the market share here in the United States. American Express and DFS are taking a small piece of the pie, which gives them a lot of room for growth. You can see that in the PE ratio. This is actually pretty low for a company that has a lot of room for growth, but DFS has 0.14. 1.67 and 1.81 for MasterCard is pretty decent. Both of them also have strong buy ratings because this particular industry is dominated by these two companies. The EPS is very similar, 6.04 for Visa, 8.76 for MasterCard. I believe Visa's earnings are going to kick off and take that EPS to a higher range, but for now, we're rocking with what we got. A PE ratio of 36 here is lower than 39.8, but I saw a higher PE ratio when looking at it earlier, so the numbers could be different. I believe the PE ratio is closer to 40 something, and that is definitely something to look at. I would like Visa to come down to my buy levels, and you can see those at the technicals because the price is pretty high. 0.69% dividend is all right, better than 0.56 with MasterCard. American Express and DFS do pay a higher dividend if you want to play those particular companies. With that said, the market cap of $457 billion is more than 144 plus 32 of American Express and DFS. The two big dogs are MasterCard 341, and of course, Visa is leading the pack with analysts seeing $309 on the high. That's 41% from where it's currently trading, higher than 38% if MasterCard was to hit 482. A lot of upside for Visa. I like it for that particular reason. American Express and DFS, 14% upside on American Express, not exciting. Another 41% if you were to play DFS. DFS is a reasonable alternative, but I like the market leader of Visa. I continue to see them dominating. With that said, let's check out the technicals. Perfect. There's a lot going on with Visa, and I'd like to jump in this as quick as possible. The first thing I'd like to show you guys is you see this W, you see that woo right there. This is very exciting for bullish traders. However, it's important to know that once you see a double bottom, which is what we've identified here with the two confirmations at 190 and the reversal to resistance of 219, what we would like to see here is a break past the 219 level and a continuation, right? If you calculate the distance between 219 and 190, you can easily see $29. $29 from 219 will be pushing us towards our resistance of 250 easily. And that is how we plan to trade this. But it's important to know that when you see a double bottom, it can easily become a triple bottom because there are different things that could happen between the day-to-day news, inflation, war. A lot of things can swing this one in different ways, but this has been a day trader's dream, and all my long-term traders can see that this is great opportunity if you like the business, right? I have my team already in position with our calls and adding to long position at 190. Whenever we see it cross our buy up to price, our buy up to is 203. We start to nibble at it. We buy more as it approaches $190. That's how we're playing it. If you would like to see how we are playing Visa on the day-to-day, weekly, or even long, hit the subscribe button first to get access to our videos. Hit the Patreon link to come join the Pride. We are an amazing group of individuals. We do our research, we invest, we day trade, we do the simple things consistently. Come rock with the team. We would love to have you. With all of that said, this is Muphasa El Matador. Peace.